Okay, UFC 116, Brock Lesnar, Shane Carwin, title unification. Uh, yeah, it's a decent card, not a bad card. It was pretty good until Wandy had to pull out. I really did want to see that sexy Yama Wandy fight. I've been waiting for it ever since they announced it. So unfortunate, and I really feel Yoshiro Akiyama because Akiyama was saying he was like, "Well, I don't want to fight Chris Lieben." This is like they replaced Wandy about 3 days before fight card because the fight card's coming up this Saturday. So it's been relatively soon that they replaced him. So now Yoshihiro Akiyama's had this complete game plan ready. Matter of fact, he's had this game plan ready for like 3 years. He's been wanting to fight Wandy for such a long time now, and now he's got to fight Chris Lieben. In all honesty, I think Chris Lieben's a slower version of Wandy in a way. Maybe a little bit of better chin, but yeah. But let's go ahead and get into the predictions. Got a light heavyweight bout. Seth Petrozelli, Ricardo Romero. I don't really know Ricardo Romero, so I'm not really going to make a judgment on that. Seth Petrozelli, obviously the Kimbo Killer. Overhyped. Big deal. Gus Johnson made him the greatest MMA upsetter of all time because Gus Johnson's a fucking idiot. I might even do a blog on that motherfucker. I hate that guy. But yeah, I'm not gonna call that fight. Brendan Schwab, Chris Tusher, Chris Tusher, Chris Tusher, Brendan Schwab versus Chris Tusher. It's actually like Team Carwin versus Team Lesnar here. Brendan Schwab obviously trains with Carwin. Tusher trains with Lesnar. I like Brendan Schwab, but he's got just a little bit too much inexperience. I can see Chris Tusher wrestling this one out and going to a decision, whereas I can easily see Brendan Schwab TKOing the guy in maybe the first or second round. So that's a toss-up. I'd like to see Brendan Schwab win, so I'll go with him. Main card, first fight of the night, George Sotiropoulos versus Kurt Pellegrino. That's going to be an all-ground fight, and that's going to be a good fight. It's one of my favorite fights, especially with George Sotiropoulos, because he just transitions so smooth. It is insane how smooth that guy transitions. It sends a chill up your spine sometimes, man. I mean, when the guy jumps from side control into mount, so easy. He'll go straight to side control and then straight to mount. One of these days, we're just going to see him go from open guard to mount. And you're going to be like, how the fuck did that happen? Oh, I forget. It's George Sotiropoulos. Guy needs to be called Grease Lightning. It's insane. Kurt Pellegrino did put up a couple good wins. I can't remember all the guys he's beaten, but he's put up a couple good wins, and he's looked really good in the fight. So I'd like to see George Sotiropoulos win it. I think he can win it easily, and I think he could win it by submission because in Kurt Pellegrino's last fight, he was fighting a relatively unknown guy out of the UFC, and that guy was locking in triangles left and right. So he could easily get caught in this fight, especially with someone like George Sotiropoulos, who's just so sneaky. And you got Krzysztof Sozinski. It's funny how I can pronounce that guy's name, but I can't pronounce Krzysztof's name. But Krzysztof, the Polish experiment, Sozinski versus Stefan Boner. I know his name's Bonner. I always call him Boner. It's just maybe because I don't like him. That could be it. But anyway, they fought before. I think it was at UFC. Could have been 111. Was it 111? It could have been. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not gonna call it on that. But I like Sozinski in this one. I thought he was winning the first fight anyway until that headbutt. I could have called it 1-1 for both. So whoever would have won that last round probably would have won the fight. But I think he was doing a better job and he won that second round clearly. Chris Lytle, Matt Brown. Every time I hear Matt Brown's name, I gotta refresh myself exactly who is Matt Brown. And as soon as I see his picture, and I'm like, oh well, obviously it's Matt Brown. The guy's put up some good wins. He's fought game opponents. He's a very good welterweight. Chris Lytle. I think a lot of people know who Chris Lytle is. Guy never quits in a fight. He's throwing punches, these wild punches. You watch the Rich Franklin fight. That's all he did. And then you watch his last fight, and the dude just submitted somebody. It's like watching Kimbo go into a backyard brawl and rear naked choke somebody. And then Boss Rutan comes out of nowhere and liver kicks him. So, I really do like Matt Brown, though, because he's got good boxing, he's got good jiu-jitsu, and he's got good takedowns. So, or his takedowns are kind of nah. But Chris Lytle's will always be there. I think it'll go by decision. So I got Matt Brown by decision. Yoshihiro Akiyama versus Chris Lieben. I got Yoshihiro. I don't think he's going to be punching him in the face left and right and just showing this incredibly technical boxing or anything. I think he's going to throw him around left and right with these freaking amazing judo throws. It's going to be like Carl Parisian all over again. It'll be pretty cool to watch, I think. Chris Lieben, I haven't really been a big Chris Lieben fan. He's a whiny little bitch. Ultimate Fighter. No offense. But I got Akiyama in this fight. It'll probably go to a decision. He's just going to throw him around left and right, in all honesty. And, of course, Brock Lesnar, Shane Carwin. This fight just got that much more awesome with Fedor losing. Not only is the person going to walk away with the championship, but they're also going to probably walk away with the #1 heavyweight pound-per-pound ranking. You got Brock Lesnar, Division I wrestler, obviously the pro wrestler, no big deal. And then you got Shane Carwin, very decorated wrestler himself. I'm hearing shit in my house. It could easily go either way. I'd like to see Shane Carwin knock the dude out, but it's not going to happen if Shane Carwin's going to be on his back the entire time. I think Brock Lesnar's probably got the best wrestling in the heavyweight division. Cain Velasquez is right there with him, so it's between those two. I think Shane Carwin's a little bit a step down from them too. If Brock Lesnar gets him on the ground, it's over. If he gets him down on the ground in the first round, it's over. Because that's what he's going to do this entire fight. There should be no guessing of what he's going to do. He's just going to take the dude down over and over and over again. So, but if Shane Carwin can stay on his feet, which he can easily do, considering he's a great wrestler himself, he could easily knock out Lesnar. Myself, I'd like to see Shane Carwin win, like I said, so we'll see how that goes. So that's UFC 116. And I'll go ahead and go into another one. See how much time I got left. I'll go ahead and go into one more. Jones and Matsushenko. Yeah, this is a good card. Takanori Gomi and Joe Stevenson. Oh, well, hold on now. Okay, I'm just reading this, but it looks like Joe Stevenson isn't going to be in the fight. It looks like Tyson Griffin's replacing him. I'm not 100% sure on that. But Takanori Gomi just looked like crap against Ken Flo. I couldn't believe it. But, yeah, it looks like Gomi's going to be fighting Tyson Griffin instead. That is going to be a straight-up boxing fight. If Tyson Griffin fights Takanori Gomi, it's just going to be boxing. Guaranteed. John Howard, Jake Ellenberger. I'd love to see John Howard win his last fight, and the Versus card was really, really good. That knockout was great. Yushin Okami, Mark Munez. Munez looked like crap against Kendall Grove. Yushin Okami is so much more technical than Kendall could have been, you know. So we'll see how that goes. I do think Yushin Okami win, and I hope so, because Yushin Okami should be a title contender. He got beat by Sonnen, and you know he just couldn't stop the takedown. So I want to see Yushin Okami win there, but Mark Munez is game. So, and then John Jones, Vladimir Matsushenko. Before I get into who I think is going to win this fight, John Jones is he's a shit. He's an up and comer. I think he'll be great, but the one thing I'm a little bit afraid of is he's gonna let it get to his head. When he beat Brandon Vera, he was getting a little cocky after that fight. So we'll see how it goes. But I do have Jones winning that fight without a doubt. Matsushenko is great and all. He's beaten great fighters back in the day. So I think John Jones will just throw in some crazy ass elbows. Could easily just put him back on the ground and do exactly what he did to Brandon Vera. And for that matter, shit, forget his name, deaf dude, Matt Hamill. No offense, but you are deaf. So, John Jones, first round probably, second round, and I'll tell you what though, if it goes past the second, dude, Matsushenko might be able to win it, because I'm not feeling Jones's cardio. I really am. But there you go. Hopefully I'll have another one. Hopefully you guys watch it. I really do, because my opinions matter. Motherfucker.